So I want to ask people that are rejoicing what's happening to immigrants in this country a question. And I want you to ask your friends and family this question, because this is really what it's about. So, just so I'm clear, a person picking our strawberries or picking our lettuce, almonds, fruits, vegetables, that are busting their ass, working hard, whatever the job is. They're out there in 100-degree weather, that have never committed a felony, never abused anybody, never committed tax fraud. They pay their taxes. They own houses. They've raised their kids here in K through 12. But somehow, you found a way to blame them for your life. But at the same time, okay, being undocumented is a civil offense. It is not a felony. It is a civil offense. You just want them here legally. You want law and order. Cool. Then explain to me why at the exact same time you had no problem voting for a 34-count convicted felon, a man who was found liable for raping Jean Carroll, who 13-year-old Katie Johnson sued him, who couldn't afford to go against him because he's a billionaire, that Trump and Epstein raped her, where 25 women accused him of sexual assault, dates, details. The guy who sat there for 3 hours watching police officers get beaten with American flags. 1 died the next day, 4 died the following day. Somehow, you went to the voting booth on November and said, yeah, that's the guy that's going to help me get more money, because he's going to get rid of the brown people. Because that's exactly what you did. Because that's what this is really about. And every week I'm going to make one video about this. This is about white supremacy. LBJ said that this country will vote for the most morally bankrupt white man that is picking your wallet, I'm paraphrasing, over the most qualified black woman. When Republicans are raised, it is generational ignorance and white victimhood. Example, what happened to Riley Gaines last year was horrible, but 43,000 other people died from gun violence that year. Why did they pick her? Because it was an undocumented immigrant, a brown person who was not here legally. And they put her on postcards and flyers and fundraisers and put her on a bill and put her in the front of Congress. Where was George Floyd's bill? Where was Ahmaud Arbery's bill that was chased down by 3 U.S. citizens? Nowhere to be found. Because that's what this is. It's rage baiting. To blame a minority for your problems. Republicans grow up in very poor states as a rule of thumb. Very high socialist states, but then they are against socialism. They have low wages. They have high crime. They have low wealth. Low health care. Very low education at the damn near bottom of it. But what happens is their Republican politicians have done a good job of telling them that it's not your fault that your life is like this. It's somebody else's fault. It's George Soros. It's the libtards. It's the immigrants. It's the trans people. It's the gay people. It's the litter boxes. This is what they do. When Hitler and Benito Mussolini came to power, they did the exact same thing. It's not your fault for your life. Oh no, it's others. And what's going to happen once, let's say you deport all of the undocumented immigrants, and what? And you're still living in a trailer? You're still brushing your 3 teeth? You're still dating your sister? You're still poor? You're still living off the system that you complain is awful about socialism. Who do you blame next? Black people? Muslims? Asians? Who's next? Is it the liberals? At some point, you need to take some personal responsibility for who you are. And I'll share a quick personal story with you. When my dad was having open heart surgery a couple years ago, I went and visited him. And we're not very close. And when I got there, my dad was not a very nice guy. That's a different conversation. And he said, this is how my dad raised me. And I said, you know what? That's a bunch of BS, Dad. Your dad's been dead for 20 years and he's in the dirt. When are you going to take some personal responsibility for who you are as a person? You're 65 years old. I chose not to be like you, Dad. But you haven't chose not to be like your dad. You're still blaming him for who you are and how you act. If you know that it's wrong, then don't do it. And that goes the same for you, MAGA. Don't blame everybody else. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. That's what you tell everybody. I don't see you out in the fields picking fruits and vegetables. What jobs do you want that they're doing? I don't. I don't see you out there. Maybe if you took some personal responsibility instead of pulling out your white victim card, maybe you would find out that the people that are making $6 or $8 an hour picking our strawberries at the jobs you don't want to do, maybe it's not them. Maybe it's the politicians. Maybe it's the rich people that keep charging you more rent. Maybe it's the insurance companies that keep charging more money and then the government has to subsidize them. Maybe it's not them after all. But then again, we still haven't had a woman president in 249 years, and a lot of you were triggered by a black man in the White House instead of being out in the fields. Ironic, isn't it? Anyway, take some personal responsibility, MAGA. Stop blaming everybody else for your life. It's yours to live. Stop using the white victim card, because there is going to be a point when more people like me are going to say this, and I'm sick and tired of you people blaming people that are good people, because those immigrants love this country more than you do. They love it for what it is. You love it for what you want it to be, a white Christian nation. And it is not that it never has been and never should be. You love the flag more than you love the people. Have a good day.